I did die once.
You murdered
crazy?
yourself?
No, on stage several times.
Wait, what?
But no, I actually,
What?
I died. Like officially was no heartbeat, no breathing, and was revived and brought back to life.
How long were you dead?
I don't know.
So you're a zombie. I'm sitting here talking to a zombie.
Yes, that's why I need the makeup.
You're riding down the Harland Highway.
All right, hold tight on the Harland Highway Show.
Harland Williams.
Yep, here we are. Now, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. You are right here on the Harland Highway, and extra special. Can I call you Juicy? Can you be a juicy guest?
I would love to be juicy.
Really?
Yeah.
Extra special juicy guest, comedian, television producer, writer, Lisa Alvarado.
Yeah.
How would I say it with the little Spanish flick, though? I know I'm not supposed to, but...
No, roll the R. That's
Roll it?
Alvarado.
Wow.
Can you do that with your tongue?
I'm not a woodpecker, so no, I can't. I mean, that sounded like a wild woodpecker, actually, and I can get specific, pecking its face into a birch tree in northern Canada. That's how specific your was.
That's a quiet one, though.
Yeah, but I don't need to be, doing a jackhammer sound to say someone's name.
No, but it's sexier if you do it that way.
Lisa Alvarado.
See, you got it.
I feel like we're a couple of rattlesnakes on a hot Arizona
You
night.
gotta shake your butt when you do it.
That wasn't your
that's
butt.
Very
That was
Latino.
not your butt, what I
true.
just saw.
That's
Holy.
true.
Do that again and I'll roll the R. Ready? There we go. Okay. How are you, Sun Sparkles?
I'm good. I am good.
You
I
are?
love these nicknames.
I know.
Can I call you Sparky?
Sure. Does it mean anything? Sparky.
No, you're sparkly.
Yeah, but you're Sun Sparkly.
Oh, I'm a little bit. Yeah, I'm more. I sparkle more, but it's makeup.
No, you look great. You have beautiful earrings. Tell me about the earring process. Most of the guys watching, and I don't even know I'm asking, but what's the earring process? How does a woman single out the earrings? What determines the size of the hoop, the dingle of the dangle, the wingle of the wongle, the bingle-de-bungle-de-fungle-de-bungle?
There's a lot of theories. You know what?
Okay.
I think that some guys think that the bigger the hoop, the crazier the girl. So these are pretty big, but they're not touching my shoulder crazy. So,
yeah. There's
so
some
they're like
that
on
big.
mid-range crazy, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also ethnicity. If you're Latina, if you're black women, wear really huge hoops too.
Oh my God. I saw a woman with hoops like almost touching her shoulder. I was out walking the other day. And I threw a football through one of them, and I won a stuffed animal. I won a little panda bear.
Did you?
Yeah, I just put it right through the hoop, and I won she had a bunch of prizes in her shirt.
Did she scratch her eyes out?
No.
She didn't?
She was happy to give me a prize. You're going to hang hoops. It's like if you wear a balloon on your face, I'm going to throw a dart in your face. I want the prize, baby.
You're going to get it, I'm sure.
Daddy's got carnival on the mind.
Look, and these for Latinas, these earrings, they also double for birth control, like a Nuva ring. So
What,
in a pinch.
So you could stick that and kill spermies?
Yeah.
So now I'm going to look at women with earrings and just think, I love your sperm killers.
Yes. Why not?
Oh, God.
I know. We come equipped.
The next black tie affair I go to, and I go to many, don't you look elegant tonight, Mrs. Daniels? Where did you get those golden sperm killers? Thanks a lot.
I know. Well, you asked.
I know, but I thought it would be like, I have a jewelry box that was passed down from my great-grandmother, and depending on the month of the day, I like to remember her, and instead I get like spermicide head.
Yes, that's me.
God.
I have to worry about these things. I'm an empty nester. I don't want any more.
So we went from sun sparkle to spermicide head in less than a minute.
I like it. I like where this is going.
I can't give you that's kind of a graphic nickname.
Yeah.
And now I feel bad. So now you got to give me sort of a bluish sort of nickname.
Let me see. Do you have chest hair? Let's go with
Not
that first.
many. I've got about 7.
You got 7.
And 2 of them are plugs. Yeah.
2 of them are
Yeah.
plugs.
Yeah.
I think I could see the plugs because
Yeah.
they're not great.
They're red. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was going to call you hairy chest. I wasn't sure if you were, but they're not. It's
But
not
that's
that.
not derog. That's not sort of like
In
mean
this
or
day and age, don't you think?
What do you mean?
I love a hairy chest, but there's so many women that do not
Oh, really?
like a hairy chest.
Why? Why do you love a hairy chest?
Because it just looks like a man. You know what I mean? Like all these guys, they're all shaven and stuff and stubbly. It's just, I don't like it.
Oh, like the cut bodybuilder dude
Yeah,
is like
yeah,
totally smooth.
Yeah, but even if they're not ripped and they shave a lot of
Really?
guys shave their chest now, and I don't like it. I'm one of the few women that
Oh.
actually likes a hairy chest, so that's not enough. For
Okay,
me.
so
we'll have to paste some more on there.
well, I'll get some more plugs done. Trust me. Yeah, I'm heading over to the plug shop right after this podcast. Podcast and plug day is what this is.
Yeah.
Okay, but I got to know, because I've never run my hand through a hairy chest. What is that sensation like, and what's going through your head when you're rubbing your fingers through a hairy chest, a Robin Williams-like chest?
Well, okay, there's degrees. Like if it stays to the front of the body, that's pretty sexy. When it starts to migrate to the neck
Yeah.
area and all down the back,
Yeah.
then that's excessive. So if
Yeah.
it's like in between, so you need a few more plugs. But like the
yeah.
perfect chest hair is not crazy where you got your fingers in it and you're not
Yeah.
reaching skin.
Yeah.
And you've been in there for 5 minutes and you're still not reaching skin. It's too
Yeah.
much.
Okay.
It's too much.
You don't want to be rolling around with like Teen Wolf.
Yeah. No.
Do you ever sniff it? Does it stink?
Do I sniff it?
Well, I mean, if a lot of people, it's about senses, right? So if you're going to stick your fingers in it, why won't you bury your face deep in the forest and take a
That's
big
true.
pine tree sniff? Or what does it
That's
smell like?
true.
Cleavage
Hopefully
oil?
it smells good. Cleavage oil. No, I think that's what I have
Oh, really?
on a hot day.
On a hot
Yeah,
day,
every
cleavage
woman.
oil.
Yeah.
Cleavage soup.
Yes, it is soupy down there.
Really? Does
yeah,
you
sucks.
accumulate moisture in your cleavage?
Oh yeah. Don't
Like-
you?
Well, no, I got hair to absorb it. I got 7.
You only have 7 of them. And that's not going to absorb
suck
much.
it up. It's enough. It's enough
enough.
for
Do
me.
you wrap them around the boobs?
I do corn rolls. Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
You should slick
Yeah.
them down with some gel during summer.
But wait, how much water? This is another new revelation. First, I get the earrings. Now you can accumulate water.
Oh yeah.
In your cleavage.
Yeah. Women in summertime, our bras are usually wet. They're like wet pads, if you will.
Yeah.
Like it's just holding up apparatus and it's just wet underneath because you got that fold under the boob.
Oh, it's underneath the
Yeah,
moisture. I thought
usually.
it was down in the valley.
Well,
But it's under the
there's all
boulders.
kinds of yeah. So it's under the boulders. It's under the melons.
The melons and the boulder. Wow.
Yeah, kiwi, whatever you got.
You know what's cool about this, though? Have you ever watched these TV shows, I Shouldn't Be Alive or I Survive? You know, on the Discovery Channel, people that get lost in the desert or in the jungle
No.
and they have to drink their own pee. And
Oh, that stuff? That's
Yeah.
such a guy thing to watch.
I know, but...
Women just we don't concern ourselves with that.
And you know why you don't concern? Because you have reservoirs of drinkable water under the boulders. This is what I didn't know. Your bra absorbs into the
Yes,
cloth
yeah.
that succulent moisture, that
Yeah.
teat moisture is what they call it, teats.
Yeah, it's teat sweat.
It's and you could wring that out and drink and survive.
You know, I've never been put in that situation, but I'm excited now because I didn't even think of it that way.
You can thank me next time you're in a helicopter crash or your plane goes down.
I'm going to thank you right now.
Yeah.
And why wait?
Well, then let's hear it.
Thank you, Harlan. I didn't know that I could drink my bra sweat. Like I just thought it was a nuisance.
Well,
There's
since
a lot
you're
of
thanking me,
sodium and
yeah, you're very welcome.
I was a mom, so I used to have the real stuff, you know?
What do you mean you were a mom?
Well, I'm done now.
Oh, how old?
He's out of the house.
Is he? Are you happy as hell?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Really? You
I
kicked him out, it
love
sounds
it.
like.
Pretty much, yeah.
You
At
did
7.
sounds
It
like
was-
you might
this
have
is
duct
enough.
taped him and dragged him out of the house.
Pretty much, yeah. And I only had
God.
one. I'm terrible.
How old was he when you when you got him out of the house?
Abducted him.
Yeah.
He left for college at 18 and kind of stayed with my mom here and there, but mostly he stayed on campus. And so he was a drivable distance. He went to CSUN, so it was drivable. It's 45 minutes.
So
from
you
my
had
place.
none of that, oh, the birdies left the nest syndrome?
No, I definitely missed him, but it was fantastic. Finally, I've been a single mom the entire time. So being pregnant in your teenage years, I never got the party years. I never got the travel over.
Oh, okay.
So now that he
Now
left,
I get
I'm
the
like,
earrings.
woohoo! Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay,
The earrings. I can do
Yeah.
it all now. I can suck on my bra. There's all sorts of things, Harlan.
Wow.
I'm learning.
Life begins for you
I
today.
know, this
Wow.
is amazing.
Wow.
And I'm done, and I get to someday hopefully have grandkids, and I am not afraid of that. I'm actually really excited. People are like, "You're going to be a grandma soon." I'm like, I hope so,
Oh, wow.
because it's the best part of being like you did all the really hard stuff. Then you get to cradle this little baby and give it back.
That's right.
If I could give my son back every time I got pissed or tired or worn out, that would be the best parenting.
Give him back.
No, but so this I can't wait.
Wait, so what was the hardest part of having a kid? Like what was the toughest?
All of it. Oh my gosh. I think doing it alone, it's just the exhaustion.
Oh,
You can't go here, you take him for an hour. I need a break. There's none of that. There's just you over and over and over. So if tired, hungry, crabby, not sleeping, sick, that's all you.
Can I say 2 words?
No. Yes. It's your podcast.
Jolly jumper.
Jolly jumper?
Yeah.
Those little jumpy things? Mm-hmm. Is that like the swing in the bedroom?
No, you hang it in a door frame, and it's on like springs, and you sit the kid in it, and he jumps up and down. He bounces up and down, and then if he's a brat, if he won't stop screaming, you grab him by the legs, pull him backwards, and shoot him across the street to the neighbor's house.
That sounds awesome.
You've never heard of Jolly Jumper? See,
Isn't that the thing that made the kids' legs go numb? Probably.
I think that's called umbilical cord asphyxiation is what that is.
Yeah. Maybe.
It also made their legs go blue.
Yeah. I didn't have his
Gave them
cord cut
polio.
till he was like 14.
You left the umbilical cord on until he was 14?
I did. You know how parents have those ropes?
Yeah.
I
just
kept him on the
let him around on meat.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, because then I could feed him while I'm eating.
Yeah, you
So
could
much-
just
I don't
plug
have
into
to-
yourself.
I didn't have to cook.
Yeah,
so.
you didn't even have to prepare him. Just plug him in and let him start suckling on your juices the way he did in old Wombtown.
Wombtown.
Could you feel him? That's one thing I'm jealous about as a dude, to not ever know what it feels like to have a human baby. And I'll preface that by saying I did go for an ultrasound once because I was having cramps. And to my surprise, I didn't have a human baby, but I had 12 golden retriever puppies.
Aw.
Yeah, and
I could see that.
I gave them all to friends, and they loved it. It was a great Christmas. Some of them still have the puppies, and
Did you cry when you had to give them away?
I didn't cry because they were a lot of work. I mean, you had
they
one.
are.
I had
know.
I had
You
a litter.
12?
I had a litter. Yeah,
That's crazy.
But
and you only have 2 nipples? That must have been hard.
Well, you haven't seen me with the shirt off.
So you must have
There's a reason
like
why I don't have
13.
more
No
hair. Yeah, I've
wonder.
got 2 lines of teeth.
I
Yeah.
knew it. I knew it.
Oh, you should.
Good
You know,
job.
people breastfeed out in public.
Yeah.
People would get so mad at me because I'd rip the shirt off on the subway, and I'd have 6 on each side, just suckling my teats right on the subway. And hey, you shouldn't be breastfeeding in public. And I'm like, screw you. They're growing puppies, and just
They need nourishment.
they need their milk. They gotta go hunting for ducks when they get older.
I'm sure that was so. You should just have covered them a little bit with a
I'm a proud mother, father. You know what I did? The
whipping
guy
them
on the
out.
subway that gave me a hard time, when I got off, you know how the subway doors close?
Yeah.
I had the puppies under the arms, and just as the doors were closing, I turned around, stuck my teats in the door closed, squirted the guy, 6 streams of puppy milk going right in all over him. It was unbelievable.
Oh my gosh!
And he wasn't wearing earrings.
Was it on the news?
No, it was on him. Yeah, milk.
I want some of that.
You'll get some. Just behave yourself.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm a guest on the podcast.
You're
I want
gonna
a
get
full
some.
glass.
You're gonna get some chest hairs and puppy milk. But wait, describe to me and the boys watching and the ladies that haven't had a human infant child inside of them. Like, what's it feel like? Was yours a kicker? Did yours do cartwheels? Did he do any Cirque du Soleil bullshit? Was he?
Yeah, he was really active, especially around, I'd say 4 to 6 months, you know.
Why then?
I don't know. I think that they get so big in the womb around 8 months, 7 months, 8 months that it's harder for them to move around. And so you'll just feel like you'll see a hand just kind of come out the side of your stomach and stuff like that.
Wow.
You're hoping it's a hand. I mean, I had a son, so.
It's so Freddy Krueger.
The claws. Right. Exactly.
Sweet. Fresh meat. Yeah. Oh, God. Were you ever terrified?
voice is
Like
so-
you wake up in the middle of the night and your eyes open and there's a hand coming up like out of your stomach.
That's no. I mean, I loved it, but at times you couldn't. There were positions you couldn't be in. Like you couldn't go on your side because your stomach was so heavy.
Yeah.
After a while, and then
slide
they're
off the
kicking.
bed.
And then you know what's weird is because they're in your stomach area. When they get bigger, they get pushed up into your ribs sometimes. So he would kick, and I'd be like, "Ow, motherfucker, that's my rib."
What'd you call your boy?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What'd you call him?
He was a mofo.
Before he was even out into the world.
Yes, of course.
Oh, harsh.
I can't help it.
I'm
being
surprised he didn't
honest.
leave home like as soon as he came out of you.
I kept asking him to.
He just popped out and he's like, "You calling me a motherfucker? Late." And then he tried to run, but it was like boring because you kept him on the umbilical cord. You're
I
like,
know.
"Come back here, little boy."
That's right. Yep. Come back.
Wow. Can we just can we agree on this to hate the word womb? Or do you like it? Because I have I get I don't know why I get queasy saying womb.
No, womb, vulva. They have some weird words.
Fallopian?
Yeah.
Fallopian sounds like I picture like Dutch people in lederhosen skipping around flowers.
Super
Like
accurate.
the Fallopian Festival or something.
I know. They have all sorts of like,
But why? What,
Weird-
Where does womb come from?
I don't know.
It's like Inspector Clouseau. Do you have a womb?
Womb.
Do you have
Yeah.
a womb?
They're in the womb.
Do I have a what? A room. A room? That's what I said, a womb. Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember. You did a good Inspector Clouseau.
Well,
I didn't know. You have so
learned
many
it-
skills.
I learned it in the womb.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have 4 sisters
4 sisters.
and 6 puppies.
Okay. Do they
Yeah.
all have kids?
2 of them have kids.
Okay. Did you ever feel the belly when the
I
kid
don't
was
remember. I don't, because I had moved away down here.
Because you're selfish.
I'm
Okay.
selfish and I didn't want to be near the womb babies.
I know.
But I think I have felt a stomach before. I think that's why I asked. It's such a surreal. It's like, you remember in high school when you had a globe?
Yeah.
It's almost like feeling a globe, but one of the kids stuck gum in it and it won't turn. It just feels like that big round. Feels like
What?
I have my hand on India or Russia or Pakistan or Greenland, depending on where I touch the big bulge.
Yes. Yeah. It is. It's a very weird experience. And then, childbirth is another totally weird, crazy
Okay, let me
experience.
have it. I don't even know.
Is that
why.
alcohol? You're going to need
No,
alcohol.
I don't know why I'm going down this
I don't know
road, but
why. You started this.
no, this next question, and I've never asked a woman this in my life, but since we're talking about childbirth and your little baby that you kicked out,
Yeah.
what's the deal with the water breaking, man? Like, I've heard that term. It's another term, womb, fallopian, and then the water breaking.
Yeah.
What the hell? Do I need to know the answer to this? What is it?
It happened weird to me because when I see you asked and you're
I
already
know,
cringing.
but they want to know. It's not me,
this-
them. These
wait.
freaks. Look at these freaks.
This is how we were all born.
Water sucking freaks.
Water breaking.
Yeah.
It's weird because it happens differently for every woman that's pregnant. So
Yeah.
some women have to go into the hospital and they're already having contractions and their water hasn't broken. So the doctor has to do it manually, which might be a little easier than being in public and then it happens.
But wait, back it up. So I hate to sound like such an idiot, but
Okay.
the water is what? Is it actually water?
It's actually clean, and it's just, it looks like water. It's your body accumulates like this little, it's like a cushion for the baby.
Like
It's
a water bed.
Yeah, it's just like a water bed.
Spoiled.
Yeah, I know, right?
So
When
they're
those
lay-
were in, but
they're-
now it's foam.
They're laying on the yeah. So what are those mattresses?
Now it's
The-
a foam pillow.
yeah. And so the baby's laying on a little.
Yeah, it's like
Is it
it's almost
encased
like a
in
water.
something?
It's a water balloon, basically.
Wow, so
that
it's
just
encased in
ruptures. It's
a
encased.
in what, skin or phlegm?
I
or
don't know. Maybe that's part
It's
of the
in a
placenta.
taco? What is it?
It might be the placenta. Tacos, you're getting hotter.
Yeah.
That's where it starts.
And then is it like, you know how, when crocodiles come out of the egg, they have that thing, like they call it the egg cutting tooth. That they have like a little beak, and they like use it to pierce the eggshell. Did the babies have a little like
Yeah, that's
a
how
little,
they come out.
like a little claw on their
Yeah, they
nose,
have
and
a beak.
they puncture the water bed?
Yeah, that's why they don't have teeth. They lose all of their teeth because they're chewing their way through
Oh God.
the
How
animal.
does it break though? Like
Okay, I think that once your body starts contracting,
Yeah.
it just knows to do that. Just how your body knows how to produce milk for when the baby's born. Like, you don't actually start to produce the milk, I don't think.
Yeah.
It's not like I started producing milk at 15 and then I had them at 18. It's like,
Yeah. It's not like a phone
it's
app.
like
It's
right,
like
yeah.
breast milk.
Wouldn't that be awesome? But you got
Yeah.
you got the breast milk for the doggies.
Yeah.
So I went in for an exam, and it happened to be a Friday. And the doctor wanted me to he was such a jerk. He wanted me to have the baby over the weekend because he wasn't working that weekend. So when I went in, here I was a kid. I'm on the table,
How old were you?
18.
Oh wow, young
he
mom.
puts, Yeah, he
Young
puts
mom.
his whole hand up in there, turning the baby to make me start to go into contractions, go into labor early. So he wouldn't have to be. So he never delivered the baby.
Are you
It
telling
was
me
the doctor on call.
a human man
Human
or woman
hand.
can
It was a
reach
man.
right up
Oh, yeah.
and position a child
Yeah,
to
like
his likings?
Yes, especially if the baby's breech, they can get their whole hand up there and start moving the baby, like moving the baby's head down.
Good God.
Yeah, it's horrible and it's very painful.
I
And,
bet. Not only have you got a human being up there, now you got like this much of a guy up there.
Okay, I didn't say that much, but
How much? How far is
I
it to
don't know.
Babyland?
I didn't measure, but I'm assuming it's just the hand.
I mean, I would think, babies.
I'm not that tall.
Babyland's probably at least that far, isn't it?
What are you talking? Where do you think my uterus is? Up here?
Well, wait.
Babyland is not. He's grabbing onto almost his elbow.
You said almost up into your ribs. So I'm thinking if you're starting at the Grand Canyon
We should measure.
and you're going up to Babyland, it can't be that close.
Well, I mean, the
gotta be
uterus
at least-
starts here. I don't think he was
The
like
what starts there?
the uterus starts.
Great band, by the way. Uterus starts here.
Yeah,
So
I've
wait,
seen them twice.
you have?
Yeah,
Wow.
they're really good. Too loud, but yeah.
Yeah. So he gets up, he turns.
Yeah, he's like turning my son, making sure that he is basically getting me to go into contractions early. So
he can go golf.
yeah, that's exactly what happened. So the next day, I was taking a shower, getting ready for work, and I was waitressing because I was broke.
God.
His father wasn't really sticking around. I'm a kid, and the next day I'm showering, getting ready for work, and had a towel wrapped around me. Thank God I was in my house still. I didn't leave for work, and the water broke right there, and it just felt, I mean, not to be graphic, but it just feels like you're peeing on yourself because it's really warm. But then when I look down, it's totally clean and it doesn't smell. It's like
Baby water.
purified water.
How could a baby stink? It hasn't even been in the world yet.
Yeah.
Of course it's
but
clean.
it's not the baby, it's your body's cushion for the child before it comes out into the world. And then so once that breaks, there can be complications if you don't get into because that's protecting the baby. So even though I wasn't having contractions yet, I had to go to the hospital because once your water breaks, that's step one.
I wonder if the guy who owns MyPillow.com had like a My Pillow up under his baby.
No, I think he had like, I don't want to be political, but probably, I don't know, Satan holding him up in there.
Oh, wow.
I think.
Okay, big difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pillow, Satan, pillows. Okay. Yeah.
Pillow guy?
Real
Yeah.
close. Yeah. Wow. That's, see, this is, and so it just comes out and you went to work. You had to go to work. Please tell me you worked at an Olive Garden.
No.
What was the restaurant when you were waitressing?
I was waitressing at this place because I'm from Chicago. So it was in the burbs of Chicago called Al's Hideaway Lodge. It was Al Capone's, where he supposedly used to hide out with his gang.
Al's Hideaway Lodge, also the Latin term for womb.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you know that?
I'm
You're so smart.
scholared and
See,
schooled.
you like the
Went
word.
to DeVry.
You like the word womb.
I don't.
You've said it like 27 times.
I know. I wonder, yeah. It's too bad the belly button doesn't open from the inside because then you could have a womb with a view.
That's perfect. I like that.
Too soon. No. All right, let's get off the areas, right? Can we go back to the earrings and the makeup? What kind of foundation do you wear? Because I'm into Sephora. I'm wearing Kat Von D's Midnight Star Splash right now, and I just feel like it evens out my skin and tones me out.
Yeah, no, that's why
Could
I
you
called
tell?
you Sparky. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's why you could tell I was
Sparkly.
wearing Kat Von D's Midnight Star Splash.
Yeah, well,
oh, wow.
Sephora just had a sale, so I could totally tell.
Oh, wow.
It's a good color.
Thanks. I think it brings out my eyes. It goes with my fall colors.
Speaking of makeup and looks, you had long hair the last time I saw you.
That's right.
What did you do with that rat tail that you cut off the back of your head? Because that was...
during COVID, I grew my hair down to here,
did.
and it was a rat tail. It looked like Kenny G was terminally ill on an island and caught SARS from a seagull.
I hope you can put up a picture of that because...
Well,
what did you do with that thing?
I'll tell you what happened. They have these things where you can donate your hair to sick people who have gone through radiation or chemotherapy, and I thought, well, let me do my part. And there was this person who needed like a artificial wig to replace their hair, and I felt so good about myself, and they put it on and they drove their car off a cliff.
Yeah, they should have.
And so they would have lasted longer had they just stuck with the leukemia.
Right, exactly. That thing, I was going to say, how could you be so mean as to give them your rat tail?
You want to hear a funny story? So when I was starting out in comedy, like the first 3 years or 4 years, I had when my hair was brown, it was even longer. It was like down to here.
Down to your 6 teats?
12. It just brushed the tip of my 6 areoles. And I was moving. I was up in Toronto. I was up in Canada, and I knew I was making the move to Hollywood.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, I'm going to Hollywood, and I'm doing stand-up. But like all of us, you hope that it parlays into acting, right?
Right.
You wanted to segue you into acting and TV and movies. And I thought, I love my long hair. But I'm up here in Canada. At that time, there was no entertainment industry, hardly at all. Yeah. Like, there wasn't TV and movie opportunities. It was all in the States. So I thought, I don't want to limit my possibilities. So I'll cut my hair off. Mm-hmm. And so I put it in a big ponytail, and I cut it, and I had this big, long ponytail.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival in Montreal, which is like the biggest comedy festival in the world, they opened a museum, a comedy museum. And so they wrote to all the comics that had participated in the festival, and I was fortunate enough to be part of that, and I've done it like 20 times since. But they said, do you have anything you want to donate that's personal that we could put in the museum? And I thought, well, I got what's more personal than my ponytail, because the first time I did the festival and they televised it, I had the long hair.
Right.
So I remember I got a baggie, one of those, the Ziploc baggies, and I put my greasy ponytail in it, and I mailed it to them thinking, oh, what a treasure. No one else would. Imagine if you had a lock of the Beatles' hair or Pope John's hair, and now you get all of Harland Williams' magnificent flowing ponytail.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I don't know what I was thinking, because you have these grandiose notions that you're going to be the next Brad Pitt or somebody. You have to. That's you gotta swing high, right? And so I sent this thing thinking, oh, what a gift for them, and people going through the museum. Oh, so look at that ponytail. And I heard back from the head guy, Bruce Hills. He just went, yeah, that was a good joke. Yeah, we made sure we threw it, burned it or something. I was so mortified. Like he totally missed it, and I never said a word.
That
but anyways,
was a great
yeah,
joke.
that put my ego in the place before I left for Hollywood.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. But what's your foundation? What do you wear? If you want to tell, some people don't want. Some ladies don't tell their beauty secrets. I actually
don't even remember what it's called. I'm not a good. I know how to put makeup on, but I'm not good at like the names. I just kind of grab.
Can I guess? Because as you
You're
can tell,
an expert. Yeah, you should guess.
I think what you have on is Kat Von D's Summer Moon Dust.
I have the same you're wearing.
No, I have a Midnight Star Splash. Kat Von D's from Sephora, her Sephora line.
I can't keep
Midnight
it straight.
Star Splash, but you have Summer's Eve Moon Dust by Kat Von D.
Summer's Eve is also
a douche.
yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah,
you so far you've called me
really
a douche.
Look for a friend. Sperm head.
Sperm head. This is getting better and better, guys. She puts douche on her face. That's what keeps her looking so young.
Oh yeah, you got to imagine that. You just douche your face.
Yeah.
Forget about facials. Forget about massages. Just douche it.
I'm terrible at I'm not the kind of girl that even really. I usually just fall asleep with my makeup on, and that's
really?
That's horrible for you.
Is that a cardinal sin?
I don't care. I think it is.
What does it do though? Does it just because
I don't wear that much.
I've done it. Like I've done enough TV shows and movies.
Where
I'm a dude, so I'll come home from the set, and I did a couple of movies where I had to be a woman, so I came home like caked and. I just flop into bed. No one told me you have to do all this girly stuff. And I'd wake up in the morning and there'd be a face print on my pillow slip, like I fell asleep on the Shroud of Turin or something.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
It's when I would only take my makeup off if I had to get rid of evidence. Like, if I want to kill somebody, like a dude. Yeah.
Oh, really? Have you thought of murder?
Of course. Every woman thinks of murdering an ex. Of course. We don't always do it.
How many have you done though?
I mean, just 2. I'm working on the 3rd.
This has been a really great time. Ladies and gentlemen, Lisa
Call me
Alvarado.
one more name. Call me one more name.
I would, but we really have to get going. Wow. Do they really? Women want to just...
We fantasize about that stuff. It's crazy. Yeah.
Have you ever plotted out the perfect murder scenario?
In my mind, I think I have.
Ooh, what is it? I want to hear this. What would it be?
It's always very personal. Women don't go for general, big, showy, or we're never the serial killer.
Yeah.
Just one guy. That one guy that hurt us, treated us wrong.
What's your plan to do it and get away with it? Have you mapped out how it goes down?
Well, I've been studying them, Lorena, she's fantastic. And then you remember the woman that was the astronaut that drove across country in a diaper? Remember that?
In a diaper.
That's the kind of commitment women have. When we decide we're going to do some shit, we commit. We'll put on a diaper. We'll do whatever we need to do.
When you murder in a diaper, that is committed. Maybe her water was about to break and she didn't want to leave any DNA.
That's true.
Wow.
It's more so like something personal. Usually you start by maybe killing their animal.
Oh, right. What was that? What was that movie?
Not just to kill the animal, but to feed it to them. She stopped because she was white. She didn't go full Latina.
Oh, right. So the Latinas go even nuttier?
Right. So we might, grab their cat. I don't like cats anyway, so I would definitely kill a cat.
Yeah. How would you kill it? Boil it? What was that thing? Fatal Instinct, that movie where she boiled the rabbit?
Yeah, she boils the rabbit.
Is that what would you boil it up? Or?
I don't know. Maybe I would get a BB gun. Whatever is faster. You don't boil it till after when you got to feed it to them.
You want the joy of murdering it first and then boiling it.
Yeah.
Then eat.
I'd bring it to you to skin it because you seem like you have that skill.
Yeah,
You could do
I'm a
it. You're
skin
from
person.
Canada.
Yeah, I've worked in the bush. I could.
You have worked in the bush.
I have. Excuse you. Good night, Nelly Furtado on the 3 Street Band, if that's even a thing.
I love how you slurp that.
That's what she said.
Yep. And then you, like, Latinas, we don't just stop at the little thing. We go further. Like, we actually cook it and make them eat it, and we'll serve it to them and just watch it. That's so
Before the murder happened.
right. And then after he eats it, that gives us a certain amount of joy, right? So it holds us off for a little bit. But then we might do the same thing and then add some poison. But we like to see him die slow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a process. You want to enjoy it. Like, if you do it too fast, then
Are
it's
you
just
one of these
day.
people that like stays up late and watches the Forensic Files shows back to back with all the murders?
I used to be. I have them down. Like,
You have
I'm
them
like,
down.
there's hair fibers in the carpet. That's so
Yeah.
amateur.
You've learned all you need to
No,
learn.
I wear a hairnet. I mean, you have
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
You just do that to learn, but they're amateurs.
Smart.
They got caught. They're on the show.
If you could be like a serial killer, what would your name be? What would we've had the Hillside Strangler, the Green River Murderer. What would you give yourself a name?
Maybe it'd be no womb for assholes.
Why do I feel like I'm first on your list?
No, you're
Wow.
nice.
Oh, thanks. I'm not going to die anytime soon.
No, just don't treat me bad.
Okay. Whew. Going back to sleeping though, have you ever had a reoccurring dream? Like, do you have a dream where it's like you have it every few months? You've had it almost your whole life. Is there one specific dream that repeats?
You know what dream I hate that happens to me all the time is I dream about a guy that I like, but it doesn't end up being that guy.
What do you mean?
So weird, right? Like initially, like say it's a guy named Tom.
Yeah.
And I like this guy, and then we're having a conversation, and then the next moment in the dream, say we're walking into a house, it's not that person, but it feels like that person to me.
Right.
They constantly change into another person that I've never seen before, but I had to have seen that person because
you had
how
to
could I
kill
dream them?
Oh, yeah. How could you dream them?
How could you dream about somebody you've never seen? So I'm sure subconsciously I saw that person, or
Until
maybe
you killed them.
right until I kill them. Maybe it's
Murdered dream. You are Friday the 13th.
that's so romantic.
Have you ever, speaking of dying, have you ever had a near-death experience or anything like that? Anything crazy where you've come close to the edge?
I did die once.
You murdered
crazy?
yourself?
No, on stage several times.
Wait,
But
what?
no, I actually
What?
I
me?
died. Like, officially was no heartbeat, no breathing, and was
What?
revived and brought back to life.
How long were you dead?
I don't know.
So you're a zombie. I'm
I-
sitting here talking to a
yes.
zombie.
Yes, that's why I need the makeup.
A
'Cause
zombie
otherwise
with Cat Van D's
yes.
Midnight Summer Moon
If I
Splash.
put a little rouge, you can't see that I'm blue underneath.
Wow.
No, I'm just dead inside. But listen, so yeah, I did.
Wait.
I did die.
For how long?
I don't know.
Well, what'd they say?
Couple minutes. Okay, so here's what happened. I was doing I love road biking, and I love
Wait,
cycling.
motorcycles or
No,
bicycles?
like bicycles.
Okay. Oh boy, this will
Like
be
where
good.
you actually have to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was doing a contest in Mexico. It was like a 50-mile from, is it Ensenada? No, it's Rosarito to Ensenada.
That's a long ride. That's
yeah.
what we call a try to die contest. Yeah.
Right?
You won.
We're like drug mules. We're just taking the drugs from one town to another.
Yeah.
So I have a really nice road bike, and I was training. So I did this race with my ex-boyfriend, and we were still...
Say that again. What boyfriend?
Ex-boyfriend. See what happened? I'm the one that died. Isn't that weird?
And so did he too?
Well, we'll see. Excuse me. So, okay. So we're doing the bike race, and I was drinking a ton of water, like tons of water.
Broken water or regular?
That's a good question. I mean, it was Mexico, so broken water's everywhere.
Probably
I mean,
broken. That's probably why you
probably
died.
my
Yeah.
bottle was, yes.
Yeah.
So I was fine at the end of the finish line, but I wanted to make a good time. So I was racing really, I gave it my all.
Yeah.
So at the finish line, I ate and I drank more water. And then
You ate some water too?
Yes, I know. I don't know.
You were thirsty.
It's icy. It was ice. You have to chew it.
Ooh.
So then I go back to the apartment that we're staying at in Rosarito, and I'm exhausted. He's outside having like a margarita on the deck. I'm taking a shower, and I start to feel really woozy. And then I got out of the shower, and I'm like, oh man, I feel really hot. And I grabbed onto the sink, and there was nothing to hold on to. And I fell and I hit the door with my head so hard that I broke the door. Like my hair was actually caught in the door. It was this really thick wooden door. And my ex-boyfriend heard the loud bang and was like, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? I wasn't responding. I was completely unconscious.
Those skull thumps are always, that's like a distinct,
yeah, it's like, you can't.
It's like a coconut falling out of a tree and landing on the sidewalk.
Yes, exactly.
It's a real specific clunk.
Yes. And so and the thing was, I was propped up against the door and my hair was caught in the door.
Oh no, so now he couldn't get in?
He couldn't get in.
You were like a human wedge.
I was literally, so he
a
had
zombie
to
wedge.
Push the door open as hard as he could.
And banging your head.
And and no pulling. I had a chunk of hair missing from.
Oh God.
So then
Can I help?
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be, but it's gray. It's too gray.
Okay, well, let's not rub it in. Maybe I'm going to start doing some killing. How about that? One more little chest hair comment, and maybe the Green River Goblin Strangler is going to show up, all right? Keep going,
all right,
Slappy.
So he came in and... I don't remember any of this.
Yeah, you were dead. How could you?
I wasn't breathing. I wasn't moving. There was no pulse. And so immediately he starts, so it's in the bathroom. There's a window that was open. And so he starts screaming for help. And we're in Mexico and it's a resort. Well,
help's just
condo.
A hobby word in Mexico.
Yeah. So he's screaming.
Help.
But then he started giving me mouth to mouth and chest compressions and brought me back to life.
He knew how to do that? Was he trained in that or anything?
No.
Just
not that I knew of. It's just have you ever done a CPR class?
I've done several of them, and it's not as standard as you think. There is a methodology to it. There's a rhythm you're supposed to do. There's a technique when you give mouth to mouth. It's like pinch the nose, tilt the neck back. Breathe in, turn your head, listen for a breath, turn back. It's very methodical. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I'm certified. I had to take a few St. John ambulances courses because I ran a bush camp for many years.
Yeah, you did.
Hello, Tiger Lily.
I don't even know what that means.
Let's get back to that hotel room.
So then apparently he brought me back to life and he's still screaming for help. Somebody had called an ambulance. The ambulance comes. Oops. I see how dramatic I am.
Yeah, it's okay.
The ambulance comes and the whole time, keep in mind, I'm naked. Dead and naked on the floor. And with a patch of hair missing from my head that's stuck in the door now.
And you said you don't remember a lot.
No, but I just know that I woke up and there were towels on me. And so the ambulance gets there and the door was locked. So they had to break through the kitchen window.
There's a kitchen.
Yeah.
Where were you staying? At the
condo.
Hotel Necrophilia?
Yes. Shh, you weren't supposed to tell. Oh my gosh, I can't tell
this
you
just
anything.
gets weirder and weirder. Okay, so you're laying the
I'm laying there. They had pushed him away because he was obviously really emotional.
Yeah.
And
was he crying?
I wouldn't wake up. I don't know. I hope
you
so.
were dead. Yeah.
Yeah. But I wouldn't. Even when I started to breathe, I was breathing very, very shallow, and I wouldn't wake up. I wouldn't open my eyes. And so they do the smelling salts thing. And
oh, wow.
And they woke me up, but I thought I was being kidnapped.
Oh, of course.
Because there's these 4 Mexican guys standing over me.
Yeah, you don't know who they are.
All I remembered was that I was in a bike race. I didn't realize I was back at the
you
condo.
didn't make the jump to,
And
so you went from doing this to 4 guys lifting you out of a bathroom naked.
Yeah.
And
Which
you're
is
missing
usually
a
how
clump
it
of hair.
happens in Mexico. It sounds familiar,
is it
doesn't
really?
it? Yeah.
Wow.
If you're having a good time, that's
Remind me
usually.
to book a vacation down there.
And to this day, my memory sucks because I lost my short-term memory. So when
that was a byproduct of being dead for
I couldn't even speak.
2 minutes?
I couldn't speak. All I could do was like make sounds. And I was trying to tell them like, I really thought I was being kidnapped. So I start screaming and they're like, do you know where you are? And do you know who the president? But they're all in Spanish. And
No,
thank
you
God
could
I
say it was,
understand. Yeah, I was like, I was just screaming no. That's the only word I could put together was no.
Universal.
And then I could see my ex like poking his head. And I'm like, is he involved in this? Did he do, like, that's all I could think. But I wasn't, like I was so couldn't put words together and everything. This is something that I want to actually work out on stage. I've never talked about it
Ever.
really publicly. Just a few of my friends know about it, but like it's, you know how comics that, well, I really admire comics that talk about really personal tragedies and make them funny.
Make them hilarious.
Yeah.
I think we're doing that right here and now.
I know. Well, you know, I mean, part of
I hope.
my friend was like, how are you going to, you died, Lisa. Like, how are you going to you lost your speech? How's that funny? And I'm like, well, it's funny that it was my ex-boyfriend.
Well,
that brought me back to life.
on that note, though, because I'm always suspicious of this stuff. Not that I'm implicating your ex-boyfriend.
Oh.
But you say you remember being in the shower.
Yeah.
Or wait, you said last thing you
and then
remember
I
was
got
being
out.
on the bike and then waking up. Or
Right.
do you remember specifically being in the shower?
Not till later.
So part of me goes,
Because I didn't even know I was in the condo.
did the old exo come into the shower and try to off you before you could off him?
Right. That's true. That's true.
Knowing that you like to murder your boyfriends, did he kind of instinctually pick up on that and go, I better get her before she gets me?
That is the best.
And when you're washing your face with your eyes closed, bonk, he thinks he's got you.
It was him. But here's my thing. I had some brain damage because of the amount of time that I was out. And I'm like, how long did he stand over me before he decided maybe I should give her mouth to mouth and bring it? Like she said, she wanted some space, right? So maybe let's just, maybe he was standing there counting the seconds over me. And I was like naked and dead.
Well, this relationship, was it contentious? Was there fighting going on? Was it harmonious? Were you lovey-dovey, or was it kind of on the rocks, or was it toxic?
We dated for 5 years, and great guy, but I broke up with him because I really couldn't see marrying him.
So this was towards the end of the relationship.
Yeah, but we were still
here
like,
we go.
We were already broken up.
Oh,
still
here
hanging
we
as
go.
friends is bad, right?
Yeah, you better
You can't-
call the authorities real quick. Is
know,
the
so
case
it's
closed yet?
probably him.
Is it closed?
We could reopen it.
Yeah, I think we better open that pound puppy and put Junior behind bars for the holidays. No, I'm just kidding.
That sounds-
No, but this is what's interesting about these, because you think of all the possibilities.
Yeah.
And again, I'm just joking about your ex, but when you watch these shows like Forensic Files,
Exactly.
and you start to learn more about human nature and greed and lust and jealousy and whatever else comes into the human psyche, you know, if that happened to me, I'd sort of be wondering, I don't remember any of it. What did happen, and what was going on, and how long did? But here's the good news. If it was him, he wouldn't have even attempted to revive you. He could have had the perfect alibi. Oh my God, this is great. She worked so hard. She overexerted herself. She got in the hot shower. It caused all this warm blood in her. She passed out, hit her head. She hit her head. I just got to stand there for 5 minutes. Didn't have to lay a DNA hand on her, watch her die, and I'm scot-free. I can go get a new girlfriend.
You sound like you just plotted your next event.
Well, I'm plotting yours.
No, this is going to be on anybody else because now I see it coming.
No, I'm telling your story. I'm trying to help you figure it out, but in a joking way. Of course, none of this really happened. Your death did happen.
That happened, and the memory loss, and
wow.
You know, when I started speaking, here's the crazy thing. I started speaking in the hospital because again, I had no clothes on. So I'm literally just kind of draped with towels. They took me onto the stretcher and I'm still screaming.
Naked
Yes.
and afraid.
Yeah. And I'm in Mexico, so I guess it's not that big a deal. They didn't care. So we're getting to the hospital. They put me in this. It's the ER, but it's a room that's basically separated by curtains.
Yeah.
It's not even a real room. So people are just walking in front as I'm basically naked. Okay, and you still I still had a semblance of I don't know, embarrassment, even though I just died.
It's called being vulnerable.
I didn't know that I had died. All I knew is that my mind wasn't working right. I couldn't speak. There was this kid, he was the ER doctor, one of the ER doctors. He looks like he was 17 years old.
Probably was. Where were you
Yes.
again?
At that time I was in Rosarito.
Yeah, it was a 17-year-old doctor.
Yes, of course it was.
Yeah. Had a low rider at night and did surgeries during the day. Yeah.
I mean, he's been working since he was 2.
Is there
Mexico.
someone sick in here? What can I do?
Yeah, what do you need? Braids? What do you need? Sombrero?
Can I reach out and readjust a baby for somebody? Give me to the womb.
Is that your Latino?
I guess. But here's the thing, though. If we roll it back even further, your case, if it did become a murder case, and I'm joking, it would be thrown out of court because you've admitted that you had no memory. You lost your memory. And so it would be very hard to contest or accuse anyone because the defense would just say, oh, well, Your Honor, she said by her own words that she had no memory of any. She lost her memory. She couldn't even talk. So, interesting.
I think you did it. I didn't even realize that till just coming on
There's
your show.
There's a lot more I have to say about it. Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, my mind works in very, very hotel roomy ways. But we got to go to the next level of this story because everyone's going to want to know, when you were dead, where did you go? What did you see? Did you have an ethereal experience? Did you go to an out-of-body place? Were you floating above yourself, admiring your naked body because it was in such great shape because you were a cyclist?
No, I didn't.
Where'd you go? Ben and Jerry's? What the hell did you do?
I wish that I had that story.
So what happened?
I didn't experience any of that.
So you're just on the floor, smelling urine in the tiles?
I wish I would have seen a light or people I knew that passed away.
You should have stayed at the Motel 6. They leave the light on for you.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
That's
right.
That's the takeaway from this story.
No, but nothing?
I didn't. I wish, maybe I did and I forgot because my memory was gone for
Do you remember if you
2-3
at least,
months.
Because I'm a fainter. I'm one of these guys.
Are you?
Yeah, I don't know
look like
why.
one.
Yeah. When I lose blood, like if I go to give blood or I cut myself deeply and blood comes, sometimes even if I get teeth pulled, man, I go down. Like I've just passed out, hit walls, landed on the floor. And when I faint, I immediately, it's instant, go into a deep dream state. Like the minute things black out, I'm in these dreams that are so powerful, my brain hurts when I wake up. You know, when you have a really intense dream. Mm-hmm. Do you have any recollection of going into a dream state at least? Or was it just nothing?
Nothing. I didn't remember falling until months later. It did come back to me, what happened and how I felt, but it didn't come for months, like almost 3 months.
Let me ask you this, and I'm probing. I'm trying to. So now you've got my wheels.
Yeah, we're going to solve the case. We're going to solve it.
In many of these bicycle marathons, you have complete random people. Give me your water bottle. Standing at the side of the road, going, "Hey, hey!" You know, and the cyclists just blindly go by. Grab.
It's womb water.
Yeah, but is it possible that somebody gave you a water that they put something in or some kind of drug, or it would be kind of stupid because you're just going by, but maybe someone who had murder on their mind. I don't know.
Maybe because I was riding too fast.
Or did you have your own personal water bottle on the bike?
Yeah, I had like 3 huge bottles of water.
Did anyone have access to said bottles?
Not that I know of, but
including the 5-year-old boyfriend in the tumultuous relationship where you weren't really doing that well with, staying in the same room in a foreign country. water.
Yes, he was in his 40s, but he's a 5-year-old boyfriend. We could cut that out. So
we'll leave in all the murder accusations, but we'll cut that out.
Yeah, we'll edit out that. You know what? Maybe it was foul play. What they ended up telling me happened is that I basically drowned myself. Did you know that you can drink too much water?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And I had absolutely no salt left in my body. That's why I passed out. They're like, you can't survive with you have no salt.
Sounds like you needed to be assaulted.
Yes, I did. And it happened.
You were, yeah.
I know.
Yeah, there was a moron in, I think it was in Texas or some state, where these goofy radio DJs,
yeah,
they always bring these people in, and for some reason they do all this very visual stuff, but it's radio. Like, I've done radio interviews. Let's bring in a stripper and let's have her play with a sex toy, and I'm like, idiots, it's radio. Nobody can see. Why are you doing this to this woman? You're humiliating. I walked out of a radio interview once because they were just like humiliating this woman and treating her like garbage. But these guys at one of these radio stations, like they had a contest to see who could drink the most water.
Oh boy!
And some lady just kept drinking and drinking because everyone thinks, oh, it's just water, it's harmless. Right. She killed herself.
She actually
died. If you look on Google, you'll see. Type in "woman dies from drinking water at radio contest." It was like, water.
That's what I mean. So I had I'm kind of an athlete. I love working out and stuff like that. I love cycling. But I never knew that in a 50-mile race that I would overhydrate because I ate a lot of carbs that morning. I ate a big breakfast knowing that I'm going to need all this energy.
Yeah.
And I thought hydrating... And they're like, yes, of course you hydrate because you sweat so much, but you have to take salt pills during the bike ride. And that's the one thing I didn't do. So the more water I drank, I'm thinking I'm hydrating my body. I actually made it so much worse to the point where I fainted.
Yeah, it's all about moderation. Even when you're doing, athletic stuff, you've got to... It's not like suddenly your body has extra room for more liquids or food or nutrients. Your body can only contain so much. So
I was literally just flushing out the nutrients that I needed. So that's what happened. They're like, So they
hand me that water real quick.
You gonna put salt in there for me?
No, I just don't want. Nobody's died on my podcast so far, and I just want to keep my record clean. And you just parch for a little while.
Yeah,
okay?
I know. And even now I drink a lot of water. And you know that this is crazy. You have to drink water that's not high in potassium. Because I just had a blood test. And literally today, my doctor just called me and said, it's not as high as we thought. You're okay. Potassium. So I'm reading my water bottle label, the ones that have electrolytes.
Yeah.
Don't drink that much of those. I had no idea. So here I am pounding like the electrolyte 9.5, whatever, waters, and it's full of potassium.
Do you just want to tell the crowd right now that you're suicidal? I have this thing with
water. I have this thing with water. Here I am trying to be cognizant of not being dehydrated and everything, and I think water's good for you.
You know what I'm going to do for you? I'm going to take you
Maybe
tomorrow.
I should booze it up.
No, tomorrow night I'm going to take you to Avatar Way of the Water.
Oh,
and then
boy.
afterwards we're going to go to a water park, and then you can just end it with a smile on your face.
I'll do that.
Okay, there, H2O Sally.
H2O Sally, I like that one better. It's
Great
not too
band,
bad.
by the way. Great band. Yeah, here.
I get it. I'll just sip it.
That's what she said.
That's what she
By the way, can I just, I never said this at the beginning of the Harland Highway. We've known each other for what, 20, 25 years maybe? Because you've worked as a producer on all of Byron Allen's TV shows, which I've done over the years. What are they called? Like Leave 'Em Laughing and Giggle Me Tender? And what are the names of it?
That's exactly.
What are the names of the ones?
Giggle Me Tender was my favorite.
what was the one where you sat around on the Comics Unleashed?
Oh, Comics Unleashed.
You worked on that?
Well, I was on it,
Yeah, and you did it as a performer, and then you worked as a producer on the other one where it's what's that one?
A writer on Funny You Should Ask.
Funny You Should Ask.
You were on that show.
I was on that, yeah.
You were so fun on that show.
Yeah, I remember I did it with the late, Louis Anderson.
Yeah.
I know. That was the last time I saw Louis,
Yeah.
After that, but that was the last time I saw, I got to work with Louis Anderson, and he was sitting right in front of me, and we had a really good camaraderie, and every time I got a good zinger in, he'd always like turn around and go, like he'd look at me with that big grin, and
he was so kind.
He was a nice guy.
Not only funny, but super kind.
He was super kind. I'll never forget. I was with Louis. This is a tough story to talk about, but me and Rodney Dangerfield became quite close towards the end of his life. And when he was dying, his wife Joan called me. The family called me to go to the hospital, and I was literally with Rodney, like holding his hand, and the last 8 hours of him being alive.
That. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was right there with him, and it was so tough because he was in a really bad state, and and I remember I stayed strong, and I tried to be funny and just be compassionate, and all that stuff was very hard. And then I remember I walked out and I went, okay, I made it through that. It was tough. Right. And then I remember I got downstairs and Louis Anderson was there. And, Louis was such a big guy.
Yeah.
And Louis was there too. We went in separately, so we had our alone time. But I remember Louis was like, how you doing? You okay? And I said, yeah, I'm okay. And then I just like burst into tears. And Louis like this big guy, and he just like hugged me, and I was like falling into a couch because he was so kind of big and soft. And I remember him just comforting me and nourishing me, and he was so compassionate in that tough moment. But God, it's sad that Louis is gone. He was such a funny guy. Yeah.
There's so many in the comedy community.
Yeah, he's gone, and so was your boyfriend.
And I was almost gone, You
were gone, and I'm glad you're back. But anyways, what I was saying, we've been friends for a really long time. Yeah. We see each other all over the place doing shows. Sometimes you're working as a producer, sometimes you're writing, sometimes you're a performer. And you're a great stand-up comedian in your own right.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. So tell the gang a little bit about your stand-up journey and where you're working and where they can see you.
Yes, I'm working a lot. You can just go to lisaalvarado.com for dates, and I'm also in the midst of trying to package and sell my documentary. Did you?
Oh yeah, I saw the trailer. Very emotional.
Yeah, I'm just starting a podcast called Find the Funny off of it. It basically started with the documentary where a friend of mine who basically was like a big fan of comedy would just come to my shows, but he was in a wheelchair.
Right.
And then he, I guess, was terminal and a huge comedy fan, and we always just kept on touch on social media. It wasn't like we were really close friends, but once he knew he had PLS, which is like a version of ALS, and he had been struggling with it for a really long time. He was already in a wheelchair, but now he was becoming a quadriplegic.
Oh my goodness.
And losing his speech, which is when you're getting near the end. And he called me and he was like, I really would love to do stand-up comedy. Can you help me?
Wow. And it's like a bucket list thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, of course.
So you helped them them get right material with some of the other comedians, and then you got them up on stage.
It was fantastic.
I saw the footage in the trailer for your documentary. It's very moving. Like he's hugging his father at the end, like breaking down in tears because he did this thing, and you helped him, and you're sitting there holding his hand and nurturing him. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's why we're glad you lived, because you had more work to do. You had to move him and move everyone else and bring laughter and light and joy into the world, right?
It was such a rewarding experience. It changed my life and my perspective about a lot of things.
I bet. How can it not?
Yeah. I mean, even when you were there with Rodney, just the gravity of how precious life is, and watching a friend slip away, someone that you love, it changes you. It changes especially when you're in the room. And
when you're in the room, because you realize that person, it's like a dimmer switch, and it's going down, 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 and there's nothing anyone. I mean, Rodney was in the best facility in probably the world with the best doctors. Everyone wanted to save Rodney Dangerfield.
Right.
And when you realize it's just time to go, and that's why, I always say to people, enjoy every moment of every day.
Yes.
Like, don't let the stupid little things get you down. Let them go. And as stupid as it sounds, like, stop what you're doing. If you're walking down the sidewalk and you're feeling horrible, just stop and look at a cloud or look at a ladybug or look at a flower blowing in the, don't let all this stuff like take away from, all we really have is the present moment we're in,
Right.
So,
Exactly. And that's why I want to talk about more of these situations that have happened in my life. And turn it around and find the funny within it, because like life is just, I mean, there are obviously some hard and painful times in all of our lives, but if you think, like, if you just really kind of look at what's going on around that central issue, a lot of times you can find so much humor in the other stuff.
Yeah. And sometimes I'll say this, I've said this on the podcast before, sometimes tragedy forces you to be funny. Like I don't want to sound mean, I hope I don't offend anybody, but I can't remember a funeral I've been at where I haven't leaned over and cracked a joke to someone.
Yeah.
And not out of disrespect for the deceased, but just, you need that levity. Humans need it. It's a coping mechanism. It's like throwing fuel into a fire of the soul. You need it. You need it, and it's not vindictive or mean, but humans just have to thrive on comedy to help them through tough stuff. Yeah. And that's something I think people need to, in this era of wokeness, have to remember too. Like, comedy's really important.
Yes.
And if everyone keeps woking comedy into the cellar and no one's allowed to really kind of have fun with tragedy or hard times or things, it's going to come back, and people are going to realize, like, we need it. It sounds counterintuitive, but we need it.
So I have a question for you on that.
Boy.
No, because this is interesting, and I've been talking to friends about this. Oh, I love when you do that.
Yes.
Do you think offense is a choice?
No, I go for a brick wall every day.
Like,
I don't need a fence.
No.
A wall's more soundproof.
Oh my gosh, you're so dumb.
You asked if a fence was a choice, and I'm saying go with brick every time.
That's so bad. That was a bad dad joke. That was
okay. Well, maybe you're getting another sip.
He slurps so good.
Okay, is a fence is a choice?
Yeah, when people go to the comedy show or whatever sort of artistic whatever, and they get offended. Do you think offense is a choice?
I think sometimes you can be offended and caught off guard, and it's a surprise.
Right.
But in this day and age, I think some people are hunting to be offended.
Looking for it.
I did a show a few months ago where I made a joke that I've been doing for many years. I use it here and there, and every now and then you bring a joke back, and it always gets left. No one's ever said a word, but in this woke era, some lady came up to me after the show, found me, tapped me. I just want you to know that you ruined my night, and my father was sick, and I being the compassionate person I was, I wanted to go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But I could tell. I could just tell by her body language, her demeanor, the overreaction. I went, this person came to the club tonight looking for a mark. Yep. If it wasn't my joke, it would have been someone else's. She came here looking to do that. And you got people like us, we can pick up on it. Right. And I just looked at her and I said, I don't know what to say. I've been doing that joke, and it's not about you. It's not about your father who is sick. And I don't even think I apologized, which normally I do. Yeah. Because I could tell she was headhunting. Right. And some other comics, after I left, they told me she was doing the same thing to them, and so my instincts were right. And it's like, just knock that stuff off, people. Use the comedy to help you heal and laugh at things, even if they're dark. You'd be amazed. I think I think subliminally, without you knowing it, it can be helpful. Now, if someone's really mean and vindictive,
Right.
your brother died of leukemia, lose, like that's cruel.
Right.
But
you shouldn't go for cruel. You shouldn't
Never,
go to
never.
hurt someone's feelings
Yeah.
intentionally. It's all about the heart when you say something. It's
the
all about
intent.
your intention.
That's right.
Right. So even if you're saying something really nice, but you intend to like be sarcastic or hurt that person, it's still mean. That's still, even if you're saying nice words, it's still mean spirited. So that's what it's always, you got to judge it by the intention.
Well, that's when you come to a comedy club, you
Right.
have to realize that everything in a comedy club, just like you go to a bakery, everything's wrapped in sugar.
Yeah.
You come to a comedy club, everything's wrapped in comedy. So if someone's talking about leukemia or someone's talking about cancer or someone's talking about killing a dog, it's all in jest. You have to go in wearing that coat, knowing, okay, no matter what they say, this is meant to be jovial, you know, and it may not, it may touch a nerve, but they're not doing it maliciously to personally offend me.
I always feel like people that get offended, they should kind of, I like to, when I get upset, walk something backwards.
And
go,
murder it.
Yes.
Oh, walk it backwards.
Yes. Like
Oh,
ask
wow.
myself, okay, because you have that initial sting of like, oh, I'm angry or I'm hurt or that makes me so upset. Then I go, okay, well, why? I ask myself like a therapy session, like, okay, what was it that actually hurt me? Am I really hurt because they're late, or do I just not feel special to them? Or do I feel like maybe it's my own thing about feeling like I don't matter? Like, or that somebody's not going to treat me right, or I see this as a red flag because this person did that. So I walk it backwards and go, where was that seed planted in my life?
Right.
That this can affect me so much.
That's deep.
I know. And but it helps me to go, oh, that was just this.
Right.
I turned it into that.
Right.
Maybe it was mixed with a little bit of that, but I gave it 10 more points. Wow. So I think had I done that better in other relationships, maybe I'd be married now. But like it's
hard to marry when you're a killer, though.
Yeah.
I mean, why put a guy through that? Just stay single and
no,
let
but
the
I
men
won't
live.
kill him if he's nice. See, you got nothing to say. Men can be jerks.
Where's my flowers today, honey? Oh, I forgot them tonight, honey. Okay, it was nice knowing you.
Where's the cat?
Turn on the stove, get whiskers.
I know. You don't have any pets, do you?
I did till you got them. Now, before we go, I want to do something. This has been a great conversation, by the way. And before we go, we do this thing on the Harland Highway called Words in a Wooden Shoe.
Oh.
This is an authentic Dutch clog from Holland. And what you do, you don't look, you reach in, grab a word, and see if it evokes a memory or a story, a quick memory or story.
Okay. Not gonna look.
And you can randomly tell us.
Who wrote the words?
I did, yeah.
No, I don't trust it. I don't think.
Well, let's not ruin the footwear segment of the show.
Okay, a one night stand.
Oh, okay. Here we
Dang it,
go.
You had to do that, of course. I bet you they all say one night stand.
Well, why don't we can change it to murder if you want. I mean,
okay. What does it evoke? It doesn't really, because I'm not really this girl.
have you had one in your life?
I don't remember.
Because
That's
you
what
fell
I'm
in the
going
shower.
with.
You fell in the
Yeah,
shower.
and I hit my head really hard.
Yeah.
I don't think I have, actually.
You will.
Maybe. But we already know each other, so that's weird.
Well, hang on.
No, so you see the slurp is right at the perfect moment. You're good at that.
Yeah. That locks it in. It's okay. You can't force it if you didn't
I feel like a lot of male comedians can hook up with audience members, but I never have. Because when a woman crushes on stage, guys don't go, oh, I want to hook up with her.
Do you wish they did?
No.
Oh, okay.
Do I wish they did?
Do you wish you could come off stage and go, I'll take that one. I'm going to have a one night stand. Wild sex in Cincinnati at the Red Roof Inn. And then I go back home to L.A.
Gary, Indiana. That's even sexier.
Yeah. When you
I guess I would
orgasm, you
like
can
the-
go, Oklahoma, where the... Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm going to try that. I guess I would like the option. I think
Yeah.
when women crush on stage or we're seen as like a stronger personality, it's probably more intimidating or guys aren't attracted to it. At least I kind of feel that way. I rarely get any.
Can I make a
nice-
recommendation? Next time you crush on stage,
Yeah.
because as you're closing out, go, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure. Thank you. Which one of you men wants to bang me tonight? I guarantee you'll probably have
Get
some
the
suitors.
drunkest.
You get to
most
pick. I
crazy.
bet most of the hands in the club go up in the air.
Yeah, you know what? And it's
They'd
also
probably do the wave for you.
I'm okay. I guess that's my new closer.
Yeah. Who
Yeah.
wants to bang me tonight?
Who wants to
Also
bang
a
me
great
tonight?
band in the 70s. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the name of my new porn. That's yeah.
All right. We'll
Okay,
leave
so
it there.
this is a goal.
We'll leave it.
I guess,
It's
yeah.
it's not so much a story, but it's a future story. When
If
you
this-
come back, we'll readdress the one night stand, and you can
Maybe.
tell us all about
Yeah.
it and where he's buried and everything.
And what flavor I made his dog.
And yes, and before we go, tell the folks where they can see you, your social media, all that stuff.
Yes.
Lisa Alvarado.
Yes, you did it right. Good job. I am at Lisa Alvarado Comedian on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I hate Twitter, so I'm not really on there. But Lisa Alvarado Comedian on all of the social medias, or just lisaalvarado.com if you want to look up what cities I'm playing in and get tickets. Yeah. Oh, and the podcast. Subscribe to that. It comes out in January.
Yeah, it's a brand new podcast.
Brand
We're the
new.
first to announce it, right?
Yes, we are.
Say the name of it again.
Yay!
Say the name of it.
Find the Funny with
And
Lisa
it's
Alvarado.
on with Lisa Alvarado, and it's on YouTube.
It will be on YouTube in January. Yes, yes, it's on YouTube.
I'm playing harp music in the background.
Are you playing? I'm
didn't-
like, why is
you
he
didn't
making
wear,
that
You didn't wear
face?
the headphones, so you missed out on the harp music. Do you want to put them on real quick and hear it? Okay. And then when you say your name, I'll do it. Say your name with the rolling R, and I'll give you the.
Okay,
I'm.
ready? I'm Lisa Alvarado.
That one was off a bit. Say it into the camera,
Okay.
and then let it really drag out. Say it as sexy as you can.
Okay,
Wait. Okay. Ready?
that was a pre.
Into the camera.
I'm Lisa Alvarado.
Ladies and gentlemen, we can't end on anything better than that. Thank you for being here, Lisa, on the Harland Highway Podcast. Thank you for being here. Go rinse out your worms. And until next time, chicken chow mein, baby. Wow.
That's fun.
Do you want one more harp?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Let me drink some water before I die.
Before you
Before
die.
I drown myself.
Wait, I'll do it as you're drinking. That'll
Okay,
be-
ready?
Ready?
Ready? Here we go.
Oh, wait, I turned the volume down. Wait, do it again. Ready?
Okay.
Go. You want to go get a drink
Yes.
of water?
No.